Today, I fucked up by having diarrhea while crawling through a tunnel 200 feet underground. This happened in West Virginia last October. I was with this group of 7 camping in West Virginia for a week and exploring vertical caves. We'd set up anchor ropes on the top and dropped down into some pretty deep caves, and then explored further from there. My fuck up came on the second to last day. We had a pretty big caving network we were excited to go into. It started with a 50-foot drop into the pit, and from there a pretty extensive tunnel system down into the cavern. I opted to lead the group through the tunnels as I had the map and enjoyed being in front. There was about 45 minutes of tunnels and squeezes to get to the cavern. Some of the stretches of tunnels were about the size of a microwave. Definitely some tight areas, at times slow to crawl through. During the crawl, I began to feel a little queasy. I had eaten sour cream in the morning that had felt a bit off, but I didn't think too much of it. Further down, we tunneled, the worse my stomach felt. When we finally reached the cavern, some 300 feet below the surface, I was beginning to sweat and feel seriously wrong. It was then I realized I needed to make my way back up to the surface before the worst could happen. I told the group I wasn't feeling well and was going to head back up. I started crawling back through the tunnel when I heard them make the decision to follow me, and came back up as well. Great. Crawling back up through the tunnel, I began to feel worse and worse. My face became pale and my forehead was sweating profusely. The tunnel felt even tighter and narrower than before. I stopped midway and began to clench hard. It was all I could do to keep the fluid in. I knew at this point I was in a bad spot. The only place to go was to keep crawling forward, but I could hardly move because I was clenching so hard. I stayed for about 10 minutes in this tight tunnel, breathing heavily and clenching so hard I began to cramp in my abdomen. Something ugly was about to come out, and come out fast. By a miracle, I was able to shuffle and crawl my way out of the long tunnel, but only into the pit. Once up there, I knew I could hold back nature no longer, and unfortunately for my team behind, I was forced to let it all out as my teammates crawled silently out of the hole one by one. It was the most embarrassing and memorable moment of my caving experience. Too long didn't read. I had explosive diarrhea while crawling through a 45-minute tunnel system with my 7-person team behind me, 200 feet underground. The top comment reads, "This is like the opposite of Andy in Shawshank Redemption. He had to crawl through a tunnel of shit. You had to crawl through a tunnel while shitting." You know, I'm actually very proud of this comment. He was old enough to have seen some Andy Dufresne. Boy, did Andy crawl through that tunnel of shit. That's a pretty bad Morgan Freeman. Andy knew. Oh my god. I don't know if I'm gonna do the podcast tonight. My ear is killing me, guys. Oh boy. Second top comment reads, "When you said vertical passages, I assumed this was going to end with you pooping on the head of the people below." Oh.